Thought I'd talk about emulation and some of the games I have available through these services. And also, I think it's worth talking about, I think, the negatives as well as the positives, because when it comes to emulation, for instance, there's a lot of editing required. You're going to have to go through some configuration settings and all sorts. Every single emulation service has its own user interface. Some are very basic. They actually provide no service at all. So then you do have to go into the configuration files and manually adjust things if that's available. And others you do have to go through settings. Some you even have to input a BIOS, which is incredible to me. So, I've got the Sega Saturn, for instance, was causing me a massive headache, but I finally got that working. But it is more of a frustration because you actually have to mount the files as though it's on a disk drive. It's an absolute, it's a whole process, the Sega Saturn at the moment, but it works. So I thought at the moment, I've been really impressed. And like I say, I'm going to go through some just to show, I think it's worth showing the positives and the negatives. I think one that's given me an absolute headache is the PS3. To be honest, I didn't realize there's certain files, so certain games with the emulator that I'm using are compatible, some are not. So I think that'd be a good one to start with, actually considering that. Now there are multiple emulators; you don't have to just choose one, but I think when you pick one, you kind of like to some degree stuck with it. So this is the PS3 one. As you can see, actually, before we start, I've made icons for each of the emulators. So there's specific emulators, and I just changed the icons to fit them, so I can actually see what the console is. And I think it's been pretty cool doing that. There's tools. So if you just Google, for instance, I was just typing like, for instance, N64. I think I was just putting N64 icon, N64 or something like that, and then an image would come up, and then I'd use an icon tool that can convert to an icon, and then you literally just change it. What's this crap? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. I don't need this every time it starts up. That's the problem. All right. Blah blah blah. A new version is available. Latest version. Your version is 6 hours behind. It's worth doing these updates because you never know if one of these games will bloody work. Let's do that. Because effectively, I tried playing Killzone 2, and you thought, oh, this is working. I'm surprised it's working because, it's a PS3. But unfortunately, it was. I'm going to show where the problem lies. And you'll see it's an issue because it has the potential. It has the potential to work. So it still says in-game compatibility yellow. It's terrible. It says games that either can't be finished, serious glitches, insufficient performance. But we'll do Little Big Planet because we have that. I think I also have Little Big Planet 2, maybe? So what we do is show one that does work. Yeah, Little Big Planet 2 we have. So we'll see if that works. Not bootable content was found. I will have to look at that. Yeah, I think it's this. Maybe I did the wrong folder. No. We'll try it one more time. I don't know why it's doing that. Right, we'll try it one more. I've not actually gone into it to check it. Well, I'll have to figure it out. Why does that one look different to that one? PS3 game. It's got the same directory. It's got the same directory. So if I was to do the game one, that should work. Boot failed, invalid file or folder. I will try one more. And this is what I was showing. That's why I think it's really important to show the side of it so you can see. I think it's this one. I think it's gonna be this one. No, okay, I'm gonna have to figure that one out. It's not worth the hassle at the moment. And again, this is part of the process. You don't, it's not. Sometimes it works beautiful. Sometimes not so much. So we show one that works because I know it works. And someone's obviously put their own overlay on it. They've put their own advertising on the cover there. But yeah, it runs the same way, unpacks the same way the PS3 does. Because I do remember having a PS3, and you had all this when you install in the game. It would do that exact process because I remember that with the Xbox 360, you put a disc in, it played. With a PS3, it always had to install from the disc, unpack it. Crazy. So I'm using an Xbox. You can't see it because I've got this filter running on my computer to take the background out. But I've got a blue Xbox controller.
Now, to move around, use the
And what I like is the fact that there's reasons I like emulation, for instance. It's all on my computer, so I don't have to go and plug in different devices, sit somewhere else. And I get to use my favourite controller to play every console.
Jump, jump.
And the convenience of it, of course.
A short, sharp press for a small hop, or hold it down for a huge, boundy leap. On you go.
So you might wonder why it's not taking up my whole screen. I've got an ultra-wide monitor, and of course, back in those periods of time, ultra-wide. I don't even know if the latest game consoles support ultra-wide, so it's not a problem. But we go far enough back, we're looking at an absolute square for the older consoles. And we do his arms, though. I don't know if you can see it. I may be able to get this bigger. I don't know if it's gone any bigger. The positive for me is that I'm seeing a workable example of a game that's a PS3 game functioning on PC. So there's going to be some games that just don't work, and there's going to be some that do. The one negative with PlayStation
Probably want to look stylish and sexy as
is that the game files are actually quite big.
So you need to know how to get your kit on, or how to put your glad rags on. Press the menu button to access your...
So yeah, the files are huge compared to Xbox 360 games, about 8 gig. These games on PS3 are up to about 20 gig. And that's a big difference between the two settings, I think, personally. I think it's quite a big difference. And if you go back far enough, they're only like some consoles. I think the N64 was not a lot, maybe 200 meg, I can't remember. The Wii U goes up to about 8 gig. GameCube, I can't remember GameCube. I think GameCube's 500 meg.
Okay, it's time to shake things up a bit. If you tilt a wireless controller you're holding, you can animate yourself.
So I can't do that with this because it's the Xbox controller.
To alternate between moving your head and your pelvis.
It might not let me do it, actually.
You can change your sack person's expressions too, using the directional buttons. Go on then, give us a little smile. Press the up button. Go on. There, see? You're happy. Press the down button.
Well, I don't want to play it all day, so
Look at
yeah, I'm going to play out of that. So unfortunately, what I'm going to do now is show Killzone. Killzone's a mess. You think you get it somewhere, but we're not. That's just true. That's just the reality of this game. Because I thought, you know what, this is going to be great. I'm excited. This is Killzone 2, I think. Yeah, Killzone 2.
My people.
It's the UK editions is what I have downloaded.
And daughters of Helghan. This much I vow. The history of these days will be written in blood. By crushing the armies of our enemy, by seizing the weapons they thought to turn against us.
Brian Cox, you can just tell his voice.
But if there are those who would deny us peace, refuse us our rightful place in the universe, then we will unleash such...
So it's frustrating that it works here.
Generations yet unborn will cry out in anguish.
A spokesman for ISA High Command had this to say on Visari's latest outburst.
The dictator Visari plays a martyr while threatening the peace of the universe.
Listen to this shit makes me want to break something.
Ever the diplomat, Rico.
Yeah.
Colonel Templar. I'm off the field this time. So I'm looking to you and Sev to get it done.
You know we're on.
Good luck, Sergeant.
Sir. The ISA also confirmed that the second wave of the invasion fleet is due to launch imminently. arrive in orbit over the Helghan capital in approximately 2 weeks, by which time Fleet Commander Templar expects the first wave of the assault force to have dealt decisive blows against Vasari's forces. I'm sure we all wish our brave men and women good luck and Godspeed.
I think I skipped most of this last time, so it's pretty good just knowing I can watch, at least to watch the intro. Like I say, I was hoping the latest update, one of these updates, may fix the game.
Started this war when they invaded Vector, and it's up to us to conclude it.
It's not that the game's a problem; it's that the emulator is incompatible really with the game at the moment until it's fixed. But we got this far. It's interesting.
Though they sweep over our lands like the sands of winter, never again will we bow before them. Never again endure their oppression. Never again endure their tyranny. We will strike without warning and without mercy, fighting as one hand, one heart, one soul. We will shatter their dreams and haunt their nightmares, drenching our ancestors' graves with their blood. And as our last breath takes their minds, as we rise again from the ruins of the city. They
I'm gonna be honest, I got my hopes up that it's gonna work, but I don't think it will. If it comes up with this rainbow-looking thing on the screen in game, we got this far before, so that doesn't guarantee anything. Yeah, campaign continue. This is where it goes up the wall. Once it goes in game, unplayable. It's so frustrating. Yeah, there we go. This is what we see. So you get your hopes up, you get excited. What annoys me is if I press start, the menu comes up fine. You press back, the back button thing, this will come up fine with the objectives and stuff. Game-wise, absolute nightmare. This cutscene will work slightly. Oh no, because I did continue. Okay, yeah, this is it. It's so annoying that you can still get there, but you...
Attention, Team Epsilon to briefing room 4 immediately.
It's a mess.
Come on, Seb, let's go.
All you can do is tinker with settings and hope something works, but the fact that it says incompatible to a point, it's worth looking at that. If it was green, of course, but it's not. It's yellow, orange, yellow.
Blast them away from up here. They've got some crazy anti-aircraft system.
Squad Alpha, report immediately to Bay C for pre-launch.
Shit, that's us. Let's go. The beachhead units got pretty badly fucked up.
That's entirely unplayable, isn't it? You can't see a thing.
All tactical officers submit.
There's nothing I can do here. So what I want to show here, it's not going to work, so we're going to just close that.
He's kicking his ass.
There's no point. But anyway, if we look, I don't know how much you pick. Anyway, it can be visible on the screen there. It's just on Killzone. It literally says in yellow. It can't be finished. So just want to show some settings. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see the settings because, to be honest, it's small enough on my screen, let alone on your screen. But what you've got to do here is you've got to go. I'm pretty sure this is one. Yeah, there's an install firmware on the left side here. It will not work unless you install firmware. So effectively, what you're doing is you're putting the user interface, it's the PlayStation 3 entire user interface onto your software, really. I don't know if you can boot to home. There's a home button here. I'm wondering if you can. Let me have a look. Because we've put the user interface, we've put the PS3 firmware on it. So this should literally become a PlayStation 3. So we'll see if that works. Right, so we do it. It's got. I don't know what it's doing. It's compiling something. I'm assuming it's going to take us to the PlayStation user interface. Well, debating whether it's worth it, to be honest. It's causing glitches with this recording because it's using up my CPU like crazy. It's pushing why it does this compiling. Okay, that's going to take too long. I don't think it's worth the hassle. I'm pretty sure that's going to take you to the PlayStation home screen, which I think is pretty cool. There's obviously games to acquire. It's figuring out which ones are worth getting. There's a whole list of games that it says is compatible and not compatible. So if I go check game compatibility, so it takes you to a website. And it literally tells you that it's not compatible. So it's telling you the file you have, Killzone 2, for instance, in-game, is poor. And from there, you can actually go and check other games. So like if I'm looking up Resistance, because I quite like the game Resistance. Why is it going everywhere but where I want it to go? Oh, you... Oh, hey. Oh, it's all over the place, isn't it? Yeah, Resistance, Fall of Man. Well, it was there. That's a demo. Where's the full game? Oh, in-game's yellow. I swear the full game was fine. This website's just playing up a bit. I think it's not getting to the right file. Right, the pages are all over the bleeding place. Resistance, Fall of Man, yeah, playable. So that'd be good when I get that one. So that's PlayStation. Let's not dwell too deep there. No, I lost it.